Hey guys, welcome to our NFL Rumors video today. We're back with you on this Tuesday. It's been a bit since we talked to you, but really happy to be with you today and a lot to talk about. Since we last left, the draft has happened, right? And, some interesting picks went down. A lot of good moves went down. Had a big trade at the draft. Had the Eagles picking a lot of those Georgia boys. Definitely, they got a team full of Bulldogs now over there. So a lot of different things happened in the draft. Some surprises like Will Levis dropping, Anthony Richardson going to the Colts. Everybody thought the Colts was going to pick Will Levis. So it shows you never know about the NFL draft, right? So anything can happen, and we still got a lot going on today that we want to talk to you about. So a couple of the big stories that's happening right now is teams does not have to give up those compensatory picks. So you should see the free agent market open up a little bit. Not maybe big, but we will see it open up a little. Uh, Looking at some of that today, Puna Ford signed with the Buffalo Bills on their interior line. It's going to really help. He was one of our top free agents remaining. So that's going to really help things. Dalvin Cook is still a possibility to be cut, a still possibility to be traded, and the Miami Dolphins is the name that is out there for him. The Dolphins and Dalvin Cook. I see that's coming together. It's going to be interesting. Uh, and one of the big rumors that's all season, everybody reported on, was DeAndre Hopkins. And yesterday, D Hop said that he was staying with Arizona. So D Hop will be staying there with the Cardinals. A lot of people thought he was going to move on, but it seems like D Hop's still pretty happy to stay there with the Cardinals. So some interesting stuff there. Um, as we talk about the draft a little bit, C.J. Stroud was the number one pick for the Panthers. Everybody thought that the Texans would not pick C.J. Stroud, but they did. And Bryce Young going to the Panthers, C.J. Stroud going to the Texans. Then the Texans do a draft day kind of move, Sonny Weaver kind of move here, and jump up and get the next pick, right? They jump up and get the next pick and get Will Anderson, the guy that we have been reporting that'll go to the Texans. So um, that is something that definitely went down. A lot of really good moves. The Cardinals traded around as we expected, and it still was able to nab the best offensive tackle in the draft. So Cardinals did a really good job as well. And looking at some of the teams that made some good moves, I like what the 49ers did. They went and got a really good safety early on in the draft. One of the best safeties rated. So a really good move. The Seahawks had an amazing draft. They got the top corner in the draft. They did a really good job. I really love what the Seahawks did. And then they arguably got the best wide receiver in the draft in Nigba. So, that is some really good stuff that what Seattle did. Philadelphia, like they did great things. The Eagles got Nolan Smith, Jalen Carter, just to name the two big ones there. And Ringo later on, wow, they did some really big things. I really like the pick that the Panthers made too. A lot of people think that he was rated, the wide receiver they picked was rated as the top wide receiver in the draft in a lot of areas. So that was a good move, I feel, by the Panthers. And a lot of good stuff happened there. That was Jonathan Mingo. There you go, Jonathan Mingo, drafted by Panthers. Excuse me, that Ringo was the cornerback that the Falcons, or I'm sorry, that the Eagles took. Eagles had one of the best drafts out there. So a lot of good stuff happening there. So want to catch you up a little bit over the last 24 hours. The Jets signed ex-Green Bay Packer Billy Turner to a one-year deal worth about $3.15 million. So he'll reunite with Aaron Rodgers. In a surprising move, the Arizona Cardinals are not picking up the fifth-year option for Isaiah Simmons. This guy's got a ton of talent. I just think if he's in the right system, he's going to do some big things there. I really do. Um, Looking at Jared Goff, right? Jared Goff, some news around him that the Lions in over the summer could look at doing an extension with him. So Jared Goff could end up getting an extension. Um, Also, the Lions ended up nabbing in this draft Jamari Gibbs. A lot of people think that he could be the best overall pick in that draft, and running back wise, and you know a lot of people compares him to Alvin Kamara of what he can do. So very good pick. I feel a lot of people thinks they reached, but I mean the talent is there. I feel the Lions has made a lot of really good moves in the draft. The Seahawks declined their fifth-year option on Jordan Brooks. A little bit surprising as well. Jordan Brooks had a really nice season, so that was a little bit surprising. Another thing that the Quentin Johnson went to the Chargers, so the rich get richer there with Justin Herbert. So that was very interesting there. Jerry Judy, the fifth-year option got picked up. A lot of people thought he was going to get traded. It was did not. One of the big things that I really want to talk to you about is the free agents. The free agents, there are 40 really good free agents. I'm going to count 39 now, as we seen today. Puna Ford was removed from that list, and he was in my top 10. So that was a good pickup. You got Leonard Floyd, who when you're talking about where could he go, you could look at maybe the Chargers. J.D. Clowney, he could go in multiple places. A lot of people talk about the Falcons. A lot of people even talk about going back to the Texans. Donovan Smith, a tackle, someone that needs a good offensive tackles there. Frank Clark, a lot of people talk about him going back to Seattle. Isaiah Wynn, former Patriot, Georgia Bulldog. Hey, the Eagles love those Bulldogs. Let's see if they go get him. Shaquille Griffin, it's been mentioned with San Francisco, and also with some other teams as well. Marcus Peters has been mentioned with the Ravens, bringing him back. Rock Ya-Sin is out there. You got Ronald Darby. Yannick, big time. Yannick is like, he had a great season. He would be a great pickup for somebody. Really great pickup right now. Kareem Hunt, one of the running back. Very surprising nobody's picked him up. So he's still out there. I thought the Chiefs might go and pick him up, but actually they picked up their other running back, Jarrett McKinnon, today. Ezekiel Elliott could be back with the Cowboys. Another team to look at for him as well as the Chargers. Reuniting with Kellen Moore. Leonard Fournette is still out there. He could be somebody that also the Chargers could look at. Teddy Bridgewater. The Lions previously made an offer, but now where they drafted Hendon Hooker, I don't know what that'll look like. It might look something different now. Adrian Amos, the Ravens had talked to, so something to keep an eye on there. Jarvis Landry wants to go back to the Saints. Be very interesting if New Orleans brings them back. John Johnson's been rumored to go back to the Rams, so that is an interesting part there. Kyle Vanoy, Patriots are always in game for their old players, so in the Chargers, you still could be interested in him. Trey Flowers, Patriots could be a spot for him. I know he already visited with them. Shelby Harris could end up going back to the Seahawks. Byron Jones, a lot of people mentioned Dallas back there, but I don't think he'll go back to the Cowboys after the moves they made. Kenny Golladay, a lot of people mentions a possible hit for the Colts. We'll have to see if that happens there. Taylor Lewan, the Dolphins, has been mentioned as a team. Justin Houston. I think the Bills might be somebody to watch for him. Carlos Dunlap, another pass rusher. Julio Jones. Tell you a team that you might want to watch for him is the 49ers. He played with Kyle Shanahan there. So Julio Jones could be somebody that they might look at. And a team just looking for a veteran presence. to push them over the edge. Another team that's been talked about is the Chiefs. So, that's the name to watch there. Logan Ryan, Patriots could always be a team that would be interested in him. Robert Quinn, good pass rusher. Somebody that needs a good pass rusher. The Bears. I would think that would be a good fit. Anthony Barr, ex Viking. He played with the Cowboys. Uh, Anthony Barr really could add to a team as well. Carson Wentz could be just go to a quarterback. Go be a good veteran to a team with a young quarterback. Take a shot at him. Not heard too much rumblings on him though. Eli Apple, former Ohio State guy. Be interesting to see if the Bengals decide to bring him back. Jalen Smith, who done a really good job with the Giants last year. Be interesting to see if anybody, the ex Notre Dame player, anybody brings him back. Quan Alexander, there's interest in the Jets bringing him back. Sammy Watkins is another one, former Clemson player. Be interested the Giants take a chance on him. So that's 40 notable free agents that I just mentioned that teams could go and sign, right? So this is going to be very interesting. Kind of see what happens with this group, and I'm definitely excited to see what teams might go with some of these players in free agency here. Definitely, and some other news we got today. Former Texas J.J. Watt said him and his brother might make a podcast, so pretty cool there. Some of the other news: Patrick Mahomes, big news, trending news. Got a C draft grade. They said he wasn't ready to play in the NFL. May never be. The people that grade these drafts said he's going to leave many plays on the field. They were wrong for sure. He don't hardly leave many plays at all on the field. So Patrick Mahomes definitely a lot of these analysts definitely do their best. Give them kudos. They put in a lot of work. But I'll be honest, there's a lot of misses that happen. That's why you got a lot of the people that's never been drafted. They end up making a team, like the Kurt Warners of the world, right? That do well. You got George Kittle, for example, a late round pick that people didn't comp very high, and now you see what he's done. So there's a lot of things that can happen with really good players, and that's why we covered the draft. We definitely try to do pick by pick, round 1, round 2, round 3, round 4. A little bit hard to keep up with after that, but definitely I think that is something to just keep a watch on your team. You never know who you might have got in those late rounds. Want to talk about Henry Ruggs real quick. He pleads guilty to a DUI that resulted in the vehicular manslaughter. We'll have to see what that sentence might look like. Jordan Love this morning got a contract worth up to $22.5 million with $13.5 million guaranteed. So just going over a few of the headlines over the last 24 hours with you. Let's see, we got one of the Alabama players here, Jalen Billingsley, has been invited to Titan rookie minicamp, so he's going to try to get a shot there at playing there with the Titans. And my condolences over around the 30th. Shaquille Barrett lost his young daughter, and a lot of really good people that came and said some really nice words, and we definitely appreciate that. That's the reason we post something like that. Like the player comes and looks at it, they can see a lot of people that really liked him, that is showing support for him and his family. So our big prayers go out to Shaquille. Definitely, I hope he, once things get situated and he gets some time, he can see how much love's out there for him. Definitely, we wish him the best, for sure. And Patrick Queen is in the trade rumors that he could be moved. So be interesting to see if the Ravens decide to move him before the season. But his name's being floated around in trades. The Bills end up signing Latavius Murray over since the start of May. But definitely the big name that you hear is Dalvin Cook. Okay, Dalvin Cook is the big name that could be traded. and he could be traded over to the Miami Dolphins. So that's a name just to keep your eye on, right? And the Taylor Lewan's another name to keep your eye on for the Dolphins too. So Dolphins making that name. One of the really cool things I think happened in the draft was Jaden Hazelwood was picked up by the Eagles. He played with Jalen Hurts there. We actually had him on the podcast, talked to him. He's a fine young man. Talked to him about some of those things that happened there at Arkansas, some of those things that he's really trying to do. At the time, the Falcons were talking to him, but he's going to be there with somebody that knows him well in Jalen Hurts. So happy for this young man. And this is another really good story we want to talk about. John Mechie from the Texans is was able to go through the whole on-field workout in the first stage. So we're really, really happy for him. Prayers up to him. Had cancer last season. So I'm really, really excited for this young man to get on the field. Anthony Richardson, per multiple reports with CBS, that he could get that shot at starting. So we'll have to see kind of what happens there. And one of the big trades we talked about at the draft was DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift, the name that we mentioned as a possible trade candidate going into that day, he ended up getting traded to the Eagles. And they're one of them Georgia boys. Them Eagles like those Georgia boys for sure. So the Eagles have a really fine roster again. So it's very, very exciting there. And the big news right now, really, when you're hearing about trade rumors and things of that nature, Dalvin Cook could definitely get traded to the Dolphins. That's the big rumor right now, if not released. Right, and it's a mutual interest. Dalvin Cook wants to play for the Dolphins. He played at Florida State. So that's what we got for you today here at NFL Rumors. We appreciate everybody tuning in. We want to say thank you so much for the 1,000 subscribers. That means so much to us. Please watch your video. Please like the video. Comment in the video. Tell us who your favorite team is today. Tell us who your favorite team is today, and tell us about who was your favorite pick in the draft. We'd love to hear about it. And I'll definitely try to respond to those and tell you my thoughts. And we really appreciate that. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you got your notifications on. Make sure you come over to Twitter, turn our notifications on, and make sure that you're following us. We got all your off-season news, all your off-season training camp stuff. We're the place to be for all that. We'll give you everything, all the rumors, all the trade rumors in the camp. So, and any kind of news that we got with the NFL schedule coming up, all those 40 free agents we just talked about. Again, guys, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you so much. And thank you for letting us deliver your NFL news and rumors. And I hope you have a great day.